What up? This video is titled How Geniuses Access Ideas. The themes I want to discuss in this video today are the collective unconscious, what it is, as Carl Jung has described it, how we tap into frequencies and vibrations within the cosmic stream of consciousness, and how the vibrations and frequencies which we connect with directly, you know, reflect what we are able to manifest into physical reality and how we perceive reality, how the universe chooses people as servants for ideas to become manifested, and how ideas and projects are living entities which are just waiting for the right vessel or the right human being to manifest them into physical existence because they so desperately want to exist. Now, let me start off with the collective unconscious. Now, in my book, which I just published, The Keys to a Wizard's Treasure, I started off with literally two little pages around the subject of what the collective unconscious is and what the archetypes of the collective unconscious are, as described by Carl Jung, because this creates a foundation for further understanding of the archetype of numbers, zodiacs, chakras. These are images, they're not solid ideas, they're images, and each person's idea of that image may be somewhat unique. So I want to read you two short pages just so this makes sense, and then the rest of the video will already flow much smoother. Archetypes of the collective unconscious. Before reading this book, it is important to know what an archetype is. By studying archetypes, you are exploring the collective unconscious, which is the collection of every human experience and perspective over hundreds of thousands of years, summed up into one whole being, which we all have the potential of connecting with if we are intuitive enough. If I tell you to close your eyes and imagine a queen, a trickster, a witch, a warrior, a wizard, images will slowly start popping up in your mind, but these images do not belong to you. Rather, you are just focusing your attention on a specific archetype and frequency and receiving these images, ideas, and visions from the collective unconscious. Archetypes are intuitive and instinctive perceptions of themes, and the more intuitive you become, the more sensitive you will become towards perceiving the collective unconscious and being able to take images or information from this great collection. This has nothing to do with the intellect or how many push ups your brain muscles can do, but with something much more powerful, which is psychic intuition. According to Carl Gustav Jung, a Swiss psychotherapist and author of over 20 books who made this idea mainstream and somewhat understood, this collective mind is why, when inventors get a new idea, they must act on it, bringing it into reality as quickly as possible, because now that idea exists in the collective unconscious, which means that another clever inventor working on something similar will be able to pick up on this image or new frequency vibrating and bouncing off of the corners of the cosmos and steal that idea for themselves, even if they live on a remote and isolated island. Speaking on remote islands, the snake archetype is so deeply rooted in the collective unconscious that tribes on remote and isolated islands have experienced and explained to scientists dreaming about snakes, even though they have never seen one in real life. This is because when we dream, we are fully immersed in the collective unconscious, and the collective unconscious takes our experience of the day into the database, like the iCloud. um, a great way to rediscover archetypes is through songs, fairy tales, and poems, which have in our modern times been replaced with TV, social media, and movies, which have numbed and suppressed our childlike ability to sense things from an intuitive and esoteric perspective. How important is that? So, as you can see, ideas do not belong to you. When an idea pops up in your mind, as it has happened with me and writing this book, I was walking on a volcano and I literally caught like it was some portal that literally opened, and it was a firm suggestion coming from I don't know where, but I know that it came from outside myself because it wasn't an idea, it was a suggestion. And when I get ideas, I know that it's my consciousness, I know it's my psyche. This came from outside me. And that is because at that moment, I was tapped into a specific frequency which allowed me to access a specific idea. What you focus on is what the cosmos is going to give you to sort of reaffirm your beliefs, your attention, and where you place your attention. And so I tapped into this frequency, which gave me this idea: write a book. And I had the choice: do I reject it, or do I go with the flow and manifest what is asked of me? Because I am only a receiver. I want to read you a quote by what I believe is the top three most genius human being in all human history, a man named Nikola Tesla. So, my brain is only a receiver. In the universe, there is a core from which we obtain knowledge, strength, and inspiration. I have not penetrated into the secrets of this core, but I know that it exists. Nikola Tesla. He starts off the quote: my brain is only a receiver. This means that the knowledge he had, the things he was able to manifest into reality, did not come from within him. It did, but it only was so because he was able to access certain frequencies. He was in tune with specific vibrations of the cosmos, and he was able to connect that way, just as two tuning forks, you know? If two tuning forks are of different frequencies, they will not resonate on the same frequency, will not be able to connect. And that's why some people you connect with and some people don't. People who are way too high vibrational or way too low vibrational compared to where you are not going to resonate with you. But if someone's on the same level or somewhere similar, you guys can connect in that way. You see? And so the universe, something I believe, is the universe chooses people for specific tasks to fulfill specific roles because we are just avatars within this physical reality acting as, you know, almost like ants who are able to manifest things into reality. Um, and the universe chooses specific people for specific tasks. And even if we look at like the etheric realm, if you're into spirituality, esotericism, um, under all that is, or what people call God, the divine, all that is, right? There's the angelic realm. And even if you study something like the Bible, angels fulfill specific tasks for God or all that is. Each angel has their own sort of mission. And no matter how many layers further down we go, even into like the materialistic plane of the earth, each of us is here to serve a unique purpose. And the universe chooses this purpose for us, and whether we flow with it or reject it is up to us. But what I believe with this book, at least, the reason why I was able to receive that idea is because these themes of astrology, visualization, the chakras, numerology, all the stuff I talk about on this channel, the stuff I wrote about, these are things which I think about for a long time. Like it's the vast majority of what my brain is going through during the day. And because my natural frequency is focused on that, I am able to access information from the cosmos relating to this. Whereas if somebody is focused on making money, they will see opportunities and tap into portals which are going to allow them to make money. If somebody wants to become a singer or is into making jewelry and that's all they focus on, this is what they're going to get back from the universe because this is what they choose to, that's what they, place their attention into. Who you are and what you receive has so much to do with where you put your attention because your attention is almost all you have as a human being. You have the 24 hours in a day, and what you choose to do with your time, what you choose to do with it genuinely reflects what you're going to get back. And when you do something, you are sending signals off into the universe that this is what I want. This is what I want my existence to be. So if you want to manifest things into reality, you need to take action, because through action, you are letting the universe know that this is exactly the direction I want to go into. If you take a look, this is what I'm doing. So if I want to become a successful writer, but I never write a book, this is just not something that is going to happen. If you want to become a successful YouTuber but never upload a video, you are not sending off a single signal into the cosmos that this is what you want within your, being, within your reality. And so this is something I've noticed very often, is that you are given ideas, but you have the choice. You always have the choice to accept or reject it. And that really stems down to whether you are ready to receive something or not. I am very interested in a system called human design, which looks at chakras, energy centers, how your aura operates, and it's a fascinating system. But before I started getting deep into it, I already knew about it for about half a year, but I was not on the same frequency, sort of focused on it to be able to then go deeper into it. So, only when I was ready to fully receive this knowledge and to be able to understand this knowledge, only then did I receive the signal to then pursue that further. Same thing with many people within their life. They receive messages, signs, opportunities, but very often we are not ready to receive yet. The universe is prepared to give us all the abundance which we desire, all the abundance that we need in all the different forms in which it must come to our lives in order for us to do what we need to do when we need to do it. But many of us are just not yet ready. We are not able to resonate with this high frequency of abundance in order to receive it, have it flow in our life. And so, on the one of the last points I want to mention is that ideas are living entities. When I was in the process of writing this here book, I visualized it like before going to bed, Neville Goddard style. I visualized, what is it going to look like? What is it going to feel like? What are people going to think about it? How am I going to market it later? What I'm doing exactly right now is something I was visualizing for hours just, a month ago. Obviously, I worked hard for it, but I created that vision within my psyche before it manifested into physical reality. And so, ideas are living entities. This book has existed before I received access to it. It's just that I also don't believe that I was the only person who received the signal to create this, unique product. There have been thousands, if not millions, of people interested in the same things as I am who received that signal. The difference is that most of them, the vast majority of them, have probably rejected it. Just as I have rejected writing a book for many years up to now, because people believe I am not ready, I am not informed enough, nobody's gonna like it, what are my friends gonna think, I don't have the time for it. There are many things which, pop up within our human life which do not allow each individual to manifest each idea that comes their way into physical reality. But the people who end up taking action on this idea, on this vision that was given to them, these people end up very often succeeding in manifesting their vision because they took action. And this book, this product, it's an entity of its own. It has desired to exist for a long time before it was physical. It's just it was looking for a vessel to manifest itself through. You see, just as God, or all that is using us, human beings, birds, animals, even bacteria to experience consciousness from different perspectives. So do ideas reach out to different human vessels, different individuals, to see who can manifest its authenticity, its authentic being into reality as accurately as possible, as accurately as the vision was presented to them. I hope some of this is making sense to you. I know I get crazy with this stuff, but yeah, this is sort of the main idea I wanted to present to you today. Um, Ideas do not belong to us, they come from the collective unconscious. If you are sensitive enough, intuitive enough, you are going to be able to access ideas from this cosmic stream, which is like a big iCloud drive of every human experience, thought, emotion which has ever been experienced. We can connect with it. We can pull ideas from it. We can pull inspiration from it. The geniuses of the world, such as Tesla, Da Vinci, painters such as Dali, who were also deep into the occult and spirituality, they knew this stuff. What Dali used to do before he would create his surrealistic paintings, he would hold a spoon and he would fall asleep, like nod off, and then he would drop the spoon, wake up, and while he was in the dream state, the dream state is the gamma frequency. It is this hypnotic, stoned like frequency which is as close as you get to accessing your inner genius. And that is where you are able to manifest the greatest things. It's in this half dreamy, half sleepy state, which is the flow state. It's the gamma state. It is, yeah, that's that. And where did I go with this? Um, I don't know where I went with this, but yeah, then the universe chooses people. Whether you reject or accept an invitation, an idea, a suggestion to manifest something into reality, that is your choice. And the more often you agree towards it, the more likely you are going to succeed. And ideas are individual, unique entities which are just waiting for the right person to bring them into reality and give birth to them within this, material earthly realm. Thank you so much for listening to this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you could learn something from it. If you want to tap into more knowledge as such, the link for this great creation is in the bio. Have a good day.